Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to talk about this Union horse sled made by B.P. Crandall during the time of the Civil War. So I recently spotted this sled at an auction. I did not have any labeling on it, no stamp. In the description it just said horse sled. But I knew it was unique, and I could tell it was old, probably from the Civil War era, because of the flag only had 18 stars on it, and it said Union on it. So I knew this was around the Civil War era or Reconstruction era. So when it arrived, I took it down to the basement and cleaned it up, and I noticed that there was a plaque, and on the plaque it said, B.P. Crandall, patent, November 22nd, 1859. So from that information, I was able to find the patent online, awarded to a Benjamin Potter Crandall, who started making carriages and horse sleds back in the 1830s. He had several sons, one of which was Jesse Crandall, another famous toy maker that was based in Brooklyn, New York. So Benjamin Crandall had a manufacturing business in New York. That's where this sled was patented in 1859. Online, I did some research, and it doesn't appear that they made anything during the Civil War, but after the Civil War, they started up production again, and that's when I think this sled was made. This sled was probably produced between 1860 and 1870. That's my estimate. The patent details Benjamin Crandall's wish to make a sled that is safer than the others on the market. The bowed runners were spring-loaded and meant to absorb the shock of a crash, while the horse bus was meant to act like a bumper. Letters N1 and N2 are two steel spring runners, so constructed that the weight of the boy on the bottom causes the runners to spring downward at the curved ends and upward at the middle of the runner, thereby preventing the many injuries received while lying upon the sleigh during the rapid passage down the inclined plane or hill. In case the sleigh strikes a stone or mound, the weight upon the sled causes the runners to vibrate, thereby breaking the jar and preventing any fatal injury to this child, which is so commonly the case with the ordinary sleighs used by the children in our northern climate during the winter season, that the medical board have remonstrated against the practice of lying upon the stomach and chest while the sleigh is in motion, and as young America still persists in the practice, I offer the above as an improvement in the construction of hand or children's sleds that will prevent and measure the many fatal accidents. So if we take a look at the front of the sled, there's a horse head that's carved out of wood, and it has several different rivets on it where they probably had attached reins. And you can see there's remnants of a leather rein here, and on the other side, right about there. So if we take a look at the sled from the side, we can see that it has bowed or rounded steel runners, and the patent states that the purpose of this was to act as a spring so that children wouldn't get hurt if they hit a rock. One of the differences between this sled and the patent is that the horse is actually outside of the bow, but in this version the horse is inside, and there's also a bumper here. Another difference between this sled and the patent is that in the sled they had a pole that came out from the side, and this one doesn't. It has reins or a rope that's attached to it to pull it up and down. But the idea in the patent is that you'd have a pole that would come out, and you'd be able to tuck it underneath the sled where you'd clip it, and then you'd ride down the hill. So that was their thinking, but it probably was too cumbersome that they didn't use it when they put it into production, because one is it could probably come unclipped and drag along the snow as you were going down the hill. But that was one of the main things in the patent that differentiated it between other sleds, besides the steel bowed runner that would act as a spring. Well, that about does it for this week, everyone. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions about this sled or others in my collection, go ahead and post them in the comments. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.